Alright, last time we died, but we are still alive. I guess that's got offset a little bit by the fact that we did get a loot of that Blood of Life, so essentially we haven't even lost a single life. But I'm gonna be more careful this time around. The way to play this game is to always assume you're in roguelike mode, and this way you will never die. Well, potentially. You'll probably die, but it's okay. So, we're not gonna go back. And the other reason is, there was no real reason to fight that enemy. I mean, there's some extra loot. We've already killed the boss. The extra unique that was invisible, that we don't even know what killed us, will obviously have given some more XP, but it's not really that necessary. So, if you see that kind of situation, just back away. Don't be like me. So we're level 16, we want to level, we could probably do Death now, because it's pretty easy. We gotta make sure that we've got the correct resistances. I believe that I have 17 lightning, that's not enough. We want to get to about 30, because there's a lot of elementals there. So I did get a couple of items, or kept a couple of items that would have helped with that issue. First, let me just transmogrify some things. This is minimum rage 15, 74. This is slightly better, so we're gonna equip that. We can only use it when we actually enter a city. This is just the loot from the Minotaur place, so we're just gonna see what we want to keep. Definitely not that. Boots of speed, movement plus 20, it's pretty good. Although uncanny dodging, nope. These are good gauntlets actually. What do I have here? Give me lightning resistance, but these gauntlets give me even more lightning resistance, plus 20% to the critical multiplier, which is how much damage you do when you crit, and more magic, less strength, which is kind of annoying because we don't really use magic, and less physical power, but effectively it's only going to reduce it by 2. And it also is giving us, changes the resistance cap, so you've got a cap of resistance of 70% to each element, so that will make it a 75% if you can actually reach that high, which I never did. But you can then fork a lightning out of it. Probably not that great, but for now it is, because we do need that lightning damage resistance. This is crap, this is crap, this is crap, this is potentially useful, so I'll move it to the normal inventory and we'll crash the rest for cash. Crash for cash. We're gonna crash for cash. Alright, so now there's gonna be, our resistances are slightly high, 27% lightning. Can I buff it even more? Yes, we can. Well, we'll see. First, I wanted to switch this this teleportation room for the other teleportation room. Healing infusion. No, we're gonna keep the regen because it does more. We're gonna keep movement for now. I'm not gonna equip it just yet because I somehow prefer teleportation, but if I get a better movement infusion, maybe 500% plus speed, I'll probably switch it around because it's more reliable. So now we're just gonna check for some lightning stuff that we should have kept. Okay, so this one, for example, it's a temporary thing. We probably don't need this cleansing head, so let's not confuse ourselves. But that one will be helpful. Now, our arcane ability has been interfered with because it's an arcane disruption infused by arcane disrupting force, so we won't be able to use teleport or rune shielding reliably. There's a chance, I believe 50% chance it's gonna fail, but this should be fine because with 42% lightning resistance, these guys aren't gonna do a lot of damage. So they're already here. We're gonna still try and pop up the shield. Okay, it did succeed. And then we're gonna rush. And good, they're all in a line here next to us, so we can do Death Dance. Take care of them. This is the big guy, the ultimate Uguelguroth. I'm gonna confuse him. That failed. He didn't have a good mind resist, but so the way it works, if you've got the same resistance as theirs, so physical defense versus physical attack, magical defense versus magical power and all that sort of stuff, or defense versus accuracy, just for a straight hit, what it does is if you've got exactly the same, then it's 50% chance. For every point that you've got above or below, it's a 2.5% difference. So that's kind of like the way to look at it. But we should be fine. With these high resist, they barely do any damage to us. And they do hurricanes, so our armor is no good, because our armor and defense is only for actual physical ranged attacks that possibly have elemental components to them. But they don't do enough damage, so this area could be deadly without lightning resistance. So I do beg thee pretty to get some if you are going to come here. Alright, they're dead. There's one more. Let's... Ah, man, this auto-targeting is crap. Should be more careful. That's okay. We'll shout. Didn't work. We are not gonna do anything useful. We're just gonna kill him. And we saved the town. And so now you can see what the source of the town of the lightning roost was by going to the Archmage secret compound. You can possibly also do it, if you're part of the anti-magic faction, you can do it at Zigor, the Mage Hunt town. Ah, there they are. The Zigguranth Patrol. Let's just avoid them. Maybe if we go in here, they're not gonna see we're gonna go into the filthy magic citadel. Nah, they're not gonna find out. So then we're gonna talk to the head Archmage here. And he's gonna give us the quest. Or she's gonna give us the quest to see who's responsible for all of this. But I'm not gonna go there just yet. I'm not sure I'm strong enough, so I want to level up a tiny bit more. And we probably don't need some of the stuff that we've equipped. A couple of places we can go to. I want to see whether I'll get something with acid protection, because then next we're going to go to the worm layer. I don't really... How much acid protection we've got now? None. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. So I'm gonna chuck in the spiked iron mail of acid resistance. And another thing, we're gonna chuck in the wizard hat of corrosion. Now we've got 2 gloves of strength, we don't really need both. Which one is better? Probably the one that... They're both kind of iffy. This one gives a little bit more armor. I'm gonna chuck these away. One of the mods actually sort out the inventory based on equipment types, which is quite nice. I mean, you can click here category and then it does it for you, but there's better ways to organize it, and some of the mods take care of that. I probably don't need Fire Cold Light, and I can. I probably don't need this Elm Totem, so I'll transmog it. I think we're kind of okay. Get rid of this healing infusion. Yeah. to be honest. Insulating. It's probably not enough resist for me to carry this belt. Let's go with that. All right. So let's go back to the town outside, and then we go to the lair of the sandworm. Which linen do I have actually? This one is the one with the 12 cold. This one, so that one's no longer there. Cool. So this is patrol. Not what I wanted. Well, best way to do it is rush him. Maybe we can kill him quickly. Death Dance is dead. We're gonna hide a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell in here what's hidden or not. Okay, he cast Mana Clash on us, which didn't do anything. Let's wash out him. So he's confused, so we can now engage him. Stun. He's dead. And the last guy, rush him, stun. He's got resolve, so that didn't affect. Confuse. He got brain locked and confused. Okay, cool. We can use some lightning on him because he doesn't have any lightning damage protection. Okay, it didn't do much though, because it only does 12 to 36, and his armor wouldn't have reduced it, but so I'm not really sure why it did such a low damage, unless he's got, he does have plus 5% lightning. I sort of missed it. Okay, we don't need this icon here. Okay, and we're kind of stunned, but this effect is only one turn, so we can sort of skip a turn. But we're dazed, but that's not a problem. That's passed. Because remember, every turn, because of our unflinching resolve, every turn we have a chance to recover from either a stun effect. At level 2 we can also recover from blindness. We want to pop it up to level 3 so we'll have a chance to get rid of confusion as well. Let's do a forward attack and execute. Didn't work. He blocked. Okay, he's a bulwark, so he can basically block your attacks. There's a percentile for that, but it doesn't really matter. He's dead. So we survived the Ziggurat patrol, but they can be quite deadly, especially if they've got summoners there. Don't really want to use that. Don't care about extra mana. This isn't too bad. +2 for life regeneration, and it's a better armor than possibly the troll hide. So we're gonna grab that. None of these actually matter. None of these matter. Okay, we're just gonna stash them. The more cash we have, the more power we crash. So, another patrol. Yeah, this is the lair of the sandworm. I don't wanna... Okay, cool. We avoided the patrol. I hate this place now because there's two alternate versions of it. Good, we got the good version. There's a version where you basically gotta chase these worms into the next level, and then you're fighting the queen, which is what we want. There's another one where there's 5 floors of this thing. The problem is when they don't burrow, the sand basically fills up behind them, and if you get caught in there, you start to drown. And I have died in here, especially if you don't have teleport or something like that, because you fight the enemies just like this one. Let's daze him, and then you miss the trail of the worm, and then you're stuffed. So it's very embarrassing to die here out of drowning in the sand, especially when you're blinded. This is a bit dangerous. I'm gonna remove it with Infusion Wild, because if you get blinded here, it can be quite dangerous. Come on, worm, find me the exit. So you really want to kill the enemies here as quick as possible, and you don't want to go grab loot too... You want to grab loot judiciously, let's put it this way, because you don't want to waste too much time here. Where did it go? Let's see, we got stuffed up. Luckily, this was a permanent open chamber, so we couldn't have actually died there. And there was another worm behind us, so I'm good with that. Yeah, now imagine the other version has smaller worms and more open chambers, and you gotta find the exit in 5 different areas. So imagine how annoying that is. So I'm actually quite happy we got this one. Now, should we waste time on this chest? There might be a lot of uniques. No, there aren't, so that's gonna be easy. Because I don't wanna spend too much time, especially on 2 gold. So, do as I say, not as I do, is the guiding principle here. Okay. There's a alchemist lamp that does nothing, so we'll ignore it. Lots of red herring loot in here. But I'm so starved for loot in this run that I'm willing to risk my life for anything. Even 1 gold piece. Give me 1 gold piece. Why not? Ah, we leveled up just from killing mooks. That's not too bad. Okay. Come on, worm. Get around to it. Okay, so I think this acid protection, you need acid and okay, these guys actually do blight damage, so we might have gotten the wrong protections, but I was almost always sure that they actually do, these oozes actually should do acid, but I might be mistaken. That's okay, I think we're okay, we're not really, yeah, I know we do the blight damage, they do all sorts of damage, fire and nature. I guess it's the color of the oozes is what they do. Okay, something happened here. Somebody used knockback on us, which is dangerous, so we gotta find a worm again. You don't want to miss the worm, because then you're dead. A teleport takes... teleport's fine. If you don't have teleport, you'll have to use the Rod of Recall, but it takes like 40 turns, so you probably drown beforehand. Okay, there's a unique. So we're still gonna kind of get to the worm as close as possible, and only then we're gonna engage him. He's got shield wall. Confuse. We can't really waste time. Wow. He's got high defense. This is gonna be troublesome actually. Maybe not. Okay, we made it, but now we can't really spend too much time fighting these guys because we can see everything closes behind us. So I'm gonna pop in the shield, get rid of stun. Okay, that's a unique. We might be in some deep yogurt here, so yeah. This is not good. We're still pinned and we're gonna be in big trouble. So I'm gonna do a few things. I'm gonna pop in the Rod of Recall. We can't use it. The game knows us too well. Maybe if I'm lucky I can kill him this turn. Okay, one more turn. We escaped. Good. We just ignore this guy. Well, we can't ignore him because he just pinned us. So I'm gonna pop in Infusion Wild so we can move again. Hopefully we can catch up. Just gonna ignore everyone. Oh good, we caught up. So that was really close. Now teleport I think could actually get you out of this situation. But it might actually just teleport you into the sand wall, so I'm not really sure how it works and I don't really want to take any chances. We found the exit, good. Alright, cool. So now we're gonna fight the queen, but let's level up first. Yeah, so imagine 4 levels of something similar like that. only much more annoying. So you get the gist. Let's increase precise strikes. Not just yet. So we're already maxed at fast metabolism. But we can now maybe gain some stamina with Unending Frenzy. Or we can put a point... Let's put a point in Unending Frenzy. So we gain 6.7 stamina with each death we cause. But I don't like putting much more than that there. And then stats increase, will still increase Constitution. So we can get level 3 of Thick Skin. And here I'm going to put a Daunting Presence, which essentially what it does is, if we take more than 5% of our max life, all enemies in a radius of 1, at level 1, will be intimidated, reducing their physical power, mind power and spell power by 14. So it's kind of like a defensive thing as well. So it's a sustained 20 stamina, which I don't really like. But this one is a good way to get to Adrenaline Surge. So we got to put a point here. Adrenaline Surge essentially lets you, for X number of turns, do all stamina related actions without them costing stamina. So essentially, if you've got 0 stamina, you can still use your other abilities. So it's always good to have a point in here for later on. So we'll do it like that. And let's go and fight the Queen. I might actually put Daunting Presence on. So stamina reduced by even more. So this is sustained, so I'll put it in here. Alright, what have we got here? No. Combat Veteran, plus 0.14 to Technique. I'm gonna check it out. Ring of Power, no. We have enough physical power, at least for now. This is not bad. It's purple, so it's got 2 egos, Savage and Pilfering. Savage, essentially, I believe it's an armor penetration thing. We don't usually have a problem penetrating armor because we do a lot of damage. Jump away. It's not really worth for the Pilfering gives you the talent Disengage. It's not really worth it. So none of these worth it. Fog Steel, that's too low power. It's a lot of reduction in damage. So we'll basically drive down here. We've got this Barrode. Mental critical chance. We don't do mental criticals. Not a bad plate armor. But no. If we get a really good plate armor, we'll use it. But otherwise, I'd rather get a better stamina regeneration going. No. There's nothing here that's super useful. So we'll chuck everything out. Except for what we've obviously got. So here, okay, I'm gonna chuck in a shield. Okay, that was a good thing. No, I'm not gonna rush him. I'm just gonna do Cleave and then Execute. Okay, he's dead. We get rid out of that acid. So now it's the smaller worms, and you can basically follow them. And the Queen is somewhere in here. Okay. But otherwise, it's a fairly easy area, unless you're really low level. I've never really died here from the mobs. I've only died from suffocation or something like that. And sometimes you get a really powerful mob, maybe you can die if you're not really careful, but it's generally safe, so it's a good place to level up. He just healed himself. With Nature's Touch, which is a bit annoying. Okay, I'm gonna pluck this up because he just intimidated us, so we've got Fear. Reduces our attack power essentially by 17. Let's see if we can confuse him. Yep. And if I can stun him, that'll be good. The stun is almost always the better thing because it reduces their damage by 60%, which is quite substantial. So now he's kind of almost dead, so I don't want him to heal again, so I'm gonna use the Rod of Annulment on him. So that put something on Disrupted, Death Blow, Slippery Moss and Nourishing Moss. So it basically disrupted these abilities for him. Nourishing moss. No. Slippery moss, no. I really wanted it to disrupt his nature's touch, which heals him, but it did not, so okay. So nothing really we can do about it, but I'm going to chuck in regeneration, because he does do a fair amount of damage. He's almost dead. If he doesn't... Okay, he iced us. Okay, we really don't want him to regenerate now. That's going to be bad. Does he have any lightning resist? He does not. But, you know, might do 50 damage on him, so it might kill him outright. It did not. Oh, he's really close. Okay, we killed him. That is good to know. So I'm gonna heal some. So yeah, he wouldn't have killed us really, but he would have been really annoying. So now you want to follow these small worms, and they take kind of random paths, and you can sort of disrupt their paths and let them force them to take other paths. This is another way to die. There's the queen. If she kind of blocks you here, and you're now blocked behind the sand, and the sand starts filling in, you'll be in messy problems. So I'm going to step forward, and I'm going to chuck in some shield. Now I'm blinded, so most of my attacks will miss. That's okay. Chuck regeneration. And we want to get rid of... First we want to shout here. And the first thing to do is really to get rid of the queen as soon as possible. We do get stamina now for killing mobs, so I might gain some stamina. But the queen is the priority. We're gonna stun her. She didn't get stunned. And now we got Death Dance. Okay, she's dead. And we got the Heart of the Sandworm Queen. Now, you can keep following them. Let's just follow them so I'll show you how it works. They brought us to the beginning, which is annoying. So now we gotta wait for another one. Where is it? Okay. So we want some more. You can do it to go more loot. I think there's 6 chambers. There's 6 permanent chambers in each of the levels. But to be honest, once I kill the queen and I get the massive XP for the big boss, we don't want that to close behind us. I don't bother because it's a bit annoying. So we're gonna do maybe 2 or 3 more chambers, because you gotta wait for the worms and they always lead you back to places that you've already been to. It's kind of annoying. But there is loot to be had here. It's just a bit of a... Never pursue a tunnel if you don't see the worm that you can follow, because that tunnel might have been dug 6 turns ago. So that's another way to die real quickly. A good thing that helps here is actually boots of speed, or anything that gives you extra movement speed, because then you can essentially beat the system, beat the clock when it comes to those tunnels. But see, I see the tunnel here, and you see it starts chugging along, so it's a big risk. I'd rather see if I don't see the worm, I don't follow. That's a good rule to... okay, let's let it dig. No, don't want to disrupt them too much, because... Okay, let's see if we can disrupt her to get somewhere we went at before. And we'll probably go 1 more chamber. Nah, I can't be bothered, so I'm just gonna teleport. Rod of Recall. And bang. I've got a few things. This is an interesting Rand art. Flash Hue, random unique. Terrible damage. But plus 3.5 crit chance and then plus 10 crit chance when worn. I believe they just get combined. So it's plus 13 crit chance, which is not too bad. More life. And less fatigue, which is good. Accuracy doesn't change. Damage against unnatural. Cripples and disrupts spellcasting on weapon hit. This isn't actually too bad, but it's an arcane disrupting force which I can't quite afford to use. I don't want to use Arcane Disrupting Force, because I do rely on teleport and on rune shield, so unfortunately this go into the trash bin of history. Trash bin of loot history, rather. No, no. It is quite a nice random artifact actually, but no. You know, I could really use with plus 13% critical chance, but not worth it. I'm playing more conservatively this time. There's nothing worse than you want to activate teleport and it shuts down on you due to Arcane Disrupting Forces. I don't think there's anything here that I want in particular, except maybe this one. No. Maybe this one. This one. No, there's nothing here. Okay, so it all goes away. We did, however, get... We almost got another level. But what we did get is, and I'm gonna kind of avoid the patrols. And let's just go to this town for a second. I did get the Heart of the Sandworm Queen. You can consume it, and when you do, you get the Harmony talent. She's not a bad talent tree. So Celestial we got from the guide, from the escort that we saved. Wild Gift Harmony. It's got some talents for healing and whatnot. One with nature is actually quite interesting because it removes that infusion saturation. Infusion saturation is like when you use infusions back to back, the cooldown of each infusion you use gets increased. So that removes it and also reduces cooldowns of infusions. So that's quite useful if you use a lot of infusions. It's kind of hard to get to. Healing Nexus basically just is a healing effect. You know, all healing done to creatures will instead heal you. So if you suspect the creature will heal, you basically redirect healing to yourself. Elemental Harmony is interesting. It's for 6 turns, every time you are hit, one of the by one of the elements, this effect happens. If you get hit by fire, your speed increases. If you get hit by cold, your armor increases. I believe it stacks, but I'm not sure. No, it doesn't, because it can only happen every 6 turns. So obviously, as soon as it happens, it won't happen again until 6 more turns. So, but it's still good, and I guess when you buff it up even more, those stats increase. If you get hit by nature, plus 6 to all resist. There's probably a way to game it by using some maybe spell or some AoE or something that can possibly affect you to make sure you take nature damage, and then you get extra resist. So I haven't really figured that out yet, but and here we've got Waters of Life. It's essentially purifying poisons and diseases. Poisons and diseases aren't that debilitating in this game. They're annoying and they can kill you at the wrong situation, but they're not that deadly, I've found. But all poisons and diseases will heal you instead of damaging you. And it also heals for 7 life each disease or poison you have. And it increases with willpower, which we're not going to invest many points in at all. So, not really sure it's worth it for just yet. But let's level up. We can't put any more in here. We can put in Con. So we're going to put some points in Con to get Thick Skin, which is what we wanted. So now all damage resistance increases by 10, which is good. We're probably not going to put it any more than 3 out of 5, because now it only reduces it by 2.6. Before it was 2.8. Once it gets to 2.6, it's questionable whether we want to increase Constitution by 9 more. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of a cheating. We're going to chuck in some equipment that increases Constitution. So it's a bit of a hack. I don't know if they've changed the way that it works since the patches that this game have been through, but So we're looking for something that gives us +2 con. And I kept a couple of them, but I'm not sure I still got them. Sometimes tell by name, but I don't really see anything. That's cunning, that's strength. Okay, this is con, so we'll wear that for a second. Can use the alchemist agate to use as a bomb, but no. So there's nothing else we can do in regards to that. But now our con increased by 2 because of the helmet. So now we only need to put 1 point here. We can get that. So it's 3 out of 5. Let's just save it. And now let's remove the helmet. And so we see we've got that. So and our con is back to 39. So if I want to keep it at 3 out of 5 for a while, we'll just do that. So now we can up dexterity so that defense goes up a little bit, because our defense is shocking. And defense is really good because each point increases accuracy by 1. Of course, there's the mitigating return. So, you know, tier 1 to 20. If it's 1 to 20, it increases by 1. If it's 21 to 40, it increases by 1 per 2 points, etc., etc. But it's still pretty good. So defense, range defense, and accuracy, and shrug of crit chance. So I like to put it's really low. We really need it a bit higher. And then for class points here, I'm probably gonna start now putting into it's gonna give us more damage. We don't really need more of the stun thing. This is 20 more damage. We can use that more often, that's the thing. And this one we can actually spam. But you sort of gotta have a lot of stamina for this one, because 18 stamina cost is a lot. It'll be nice to actually get Death Dance to level 3. So we can get more... We can get bleed effects on them for 5 turns. So... which is useful to take some extra damage. So we're gonna do that for now. Alright, I'll get back to you a bit later. Still alive, but slightly less so.